Hello everyone, Daniel from Pop Cult X here, and normally, of course, here on Pop Cult X we talk about pop culture, but today, being that it's the 20th anniversary of the tragic attacks on New York City and pretty much the world almost, I just wanted to take a quick moment just to reflect back on that. Now, myself, I remember sitting in a mail forwarding processing plant in San Diego, California, where we sit at computers and stuff and we process all the mail that's been forwarded. And it's a very tedious job, but I won't get into that. Anyways, I remember sitting there at 7 a.m. on that fateful day and hearing the attacks and whatnot come over my headphones that I was listening to, probably some sports talk show or something like that. And I remember all of a sudden everyone at the same time just kind of started looking around at each other, like, because we couldn't quantify what was going on exactly. And then slowly we all started gathering into the lunchroom, huddled around this tiny television that we had in there, just so we can watch the news and catch what was happening in New York City. And I remember the hum of the workroom, if you can imagine all the machines working at once, that was stopped, so it was just quiet, and that wasn't usual for there. So it was just very, very eerie in that room as we all sat there and watched the events unfold. And I remember being transfixed to the news stations and just trying to figure out and hear everything that I could about what happened that day. And the thing that I remember most, really, besides the actual attacks, was the eerie calm and quietness, because the mail processing plant was right by the San Diego airport, and of course, as you know, all the air traffic was grounded for the next few days. So it was weird seeing or hearing no planes and seeing no planes in the air for those next few days. And I think that really stuck with me for quite some time, is because it was just non-existent. And even after all these years later, when I think about 9/11, I think about the fact that that there was no air traffic and everything came to a halt as we tried to figure out what happened. Well, the gravity of it all. As I reflect back today, people who didn't flinch to go in and help. They just, it was, and I think that's what I want to remember most about 9/11, is not to quote Mr. Rogers, but just the people who were willing to risk it all to help others. And even after the attack, after that day, and just the sense of unity we had in the country, and people willing to risk it all just to kind of, it was their calling at that time, and just to risk it all, like I said, I think that was the thing that I look at and I remember, not fondly, but if I want to spin it in a positive light, I look at those people and I have the most amazing respect for them. And now, just to kind of tie it into pop culture, there's been numerous movies made about the day, referenced in all sorts of TV shows. So it has taken on a bigger existence than what it had. And I think that the way we look at the attacks and how we try to fix them into 9/11 now and pop culture, it's solemn, but it's also a way for us to kind of deal with it and process it. So I thank you for joining, and thank you for sharing this moment of reflection with us, or with me, and look forward to seeing you next week in our next episode. We got some exciting things planned for you. All right, take care, everyone.